Hey everybody, welcome back to Final Fantasy XVI. So, last time we helped Martha and found out about the Black Shields in Order who are culling the bearers throughout the Rosarian Imperial Province, a horrifying situation which we'd like to put a stop to, as well as rescuing our old friend Ambrosia from bandits and fighting a notorious mark, the Ahriman, and defeating that. So we've garnered a little bit of notoriety, a little bit of renown, as well as some ability points, some experience, etc., and so forth. And now it's time to return to the hideaway, and I think we'll do that via fast travel and find out what's next on our to-do list. We do know that Gav has been sending word, and he has actually returned, so let's check in with him. Let's see what Jill has to say. Yeah. The other thing we could do, real quick, before we get into today's episode, is check in with tomes and continue our work of trying to get a full grasp on the lay of the land. So let's take care of that, and then we'll check in with Gav.
知りたいことはあるかね。知識の積み重ねがやがて大きなものとなる。
Yeah, not a lot's happened.
お主の話をまとめているぞ。
So, we've got some new relevant topics here. The Black Shields, we can find out about them. An order of knights instituted by Empress Annabella in one of her first acts as vicereine of the newly established imperial province of Rosaria. They're tasked with purging the impurities from the province, which in practice primarily involves slaying bearers upon the slightest pretexts. We also have more information about Annabella. The former Duchess of Rosaria, now Empress of the Holy Empire of Sombrec. It was ever her purpose in life to preserve her phoenix-bearing bloodline, for which reason she betrayed her husband, that she might enter in league with a force she judged the mightier. Now she rules over Rosaria as vicereine of the imperial province, which she rules with a cruelty and contempt for the baseborn that was unknown in Archduke Elwin's day. Yeah, she's gotta die. We've got a new Cursebreaker friend, Cole, second in command of the Cursebreakers, who assists with the coordination of their troops' bearer-liberating activities under the supervision of his captain, Doris. Formerly a slave soldier for the First of the Republic before being freed and taken in by those he now calls his brothers and sisters in arms. All right, let's continue working through the lay of the land here. This whole first section, we've read everything. Same with the second. Going into the third, we could get a little bit of information here about Annabella's vice-regency. After the incorporation of Rosaria into the Empire, Emperor Sylvester elected not to rule the new province directly, but to make it a vice-regency with Rosalith as its provincial capital. Moving on here, we can read about Northreach. When Sombrec moved its capital to the Crystalline Dominion, Northreach went from being a vital gateway to the seat of the Empire to a forgotten country backwater in a matter of moons. And with the fall of Drake's Head, the ether was soon leached from the lands around it, leaving the fields fallow and the once thriving environs barren and lifeless. Right, this was where we passed through on our way into Sombrec. Okay, so we can also read about the Vale, Northreach's premier house of companionship. While it is frequented mainly by Sanbrec's nobility and military, Lady Isabel welcomes all with the desire and the coin to partake of the pleasures her skilled courtesans and courtiers offer. Few establishments in the Empire are as well loved or as oft visited. So, with the move 5 years ago from Sombrec to... where did they end up going? Where's the new location? The Twin something or other? I can't quite remember where they moved to. Was it here somewhere? Well, wherever they went in the Crystalline Dominion, the Vale, I mean, Northreach became a backwater in a matter of moons, it said, so I wonder what's happening with the Vale there. Let's check in on Moor, a farming village located in the rye fields of the Royal Meadows, not far from the Sambuclaw capital of Oriflame. The residents harbor a strong hatred for bearers, more even than elsewhere in the Empire, making it a very dangerous place to visit for those who bear the brand. Right, we visited there and dealt with that prejudice while we were helping out Isabel. Let's see, what else do we have here? Oribel Downs. In southwestern Sanbrec, where the Great Wood ends, lie the secluded meadows of Oribel. Here, the soil is rich and the climate temperate, while the sloped terrain provides ample runoff for rain, making the location perfect for the growing of wine grapes, something the residents of nearby Lostwing take very seriously. We also have Norvent Valley, an expansive river valley that cuts through the southern central Sanbreque. The fortress of Caer Norvent rises along its eastern edge. And we have Glorieuse, a key strategic point in central Sanbreque. Its location just south of Oriflamme makes it a vital first line of defense against any assault of the Holy Capital. The road from Northreach to Caer Norvent and beyond to the Crystal Belt bisects the area, ensuring a constant traffic of Sanbrequois soldiers and traveling merchants. And we have the Dragon's Eyrie, a gently sloping plain stretching east from the Sanbrequois checkpoint of Northreach. As the name implies, it's heavily populated with all manner of wild worms, and as such the lands remain relatively unspoiled by mankind. The King's Fall. Located in western Sanbreque, near the Rosarian border, the King's Fall is a towering cataract fed by the waters of multiple converging tributaries. Though these waters long played an integral part in the lives of nearby settlers, an influx of displaced beasts fleeing from the Blight has forced many to abandon their claim to the resource. Moving along here, we have the Eye of the Tempest. This is where we fought Garuda. Here once did rage a storm born of a dominance madness, a storm within which the icons Garuda and Ifrit clashed, and from which only one could emerge. Their struggle saw the landscape razed as Holt's farms and villages that had stood for ages were in but mere moments struck from existence. Now all that remains is a blackened waste somehow even more lifeless than the blighted Deadlands. We've also got Belinus Tor. Named for the highest of its peaks, Sanbreque's Belinus Tor is a region of rolling grassy hills slightly inland of where the Strait of Altha meets the Sea of Grace. In the year 873, it was the site of a decisive battle in the Kingdom Wallowed's failed bid to regain a foothold in Storm. Right, they were trying to cross the Grace there. The Breadbasket, region overlooking the Strait of Altha in the eastern part of Sanbreque. The bounty provided by its rich soil fed the empire for generations until the ever-encroaching Blight intervened, displacing thousands in the process, a disturbance which played no small part in the troubles that were later to engulf the imperial capital. We can also get a little bit of information here on the Dhalmekian Republic. A nation formed from a federation of 5 smaller states, it is located in the southern half of the continent of Storm, and has its capital at Randalah. Also home to the mother crystal known as Drake's Fang, inside which stands Castle Dazbog, home of Hugo Kupka, dominant of Titan. Kupka, obsessed with finding Cid and exacting his revenge for the murder of Benedicta Harmon, co-opted the soldiers of the realm and had them commit a series of atrocities in an attempt to flush him out of hiding. He is currently in pursuit of Cid. So it seems like Kupka's definitely in control of the Republic. And then this castle, Castle Dazbog, is apparently inside the Mothercrystal. Let's read up on that. A castle built within the dome-like mountain that contains Drake's Fang. It is the primary residence of Hugo Kupka, dominant of Titan, and is lavishly appointed to suit his extravagant tastes. So apparently in the intervening 5 years, we have not been able to take down any of the other Mother Crystals, so Drake's Fang still stands, as does Drake's Tail, and several other places. Looking into the future, when we next visit the tomes, we'll read about Fort Zenitra, the Men of the Fist. Oh, I do want to read about this right now, the Men of the Rock, because they were mentioned as defending the castle along with Hugo as the rest of the Dhalmekian armies marched. Hugo Kupka's personal guard. On Kupka's orders, they ruthlessly gutted and destroyed Cid's original hideaway, vengeance for the brutal beheading of Benedicta Harmon. But Kupka's thirst for revenge is not yet slaked, and it is with reckless abandon that he employs his minions to commit atrocities across the realm in a bid to drive Cid from hiding. So yeah, the Men of the Rock and Kupka are our primary antagonist in our burgeoning quest to free the bearers. When we first arrived here, when we first saw what was happening 5 years later, we fought them and their little feline pet as they were attacking the bearers. We were trying to save them. The bearers didn't really thank us, but this is Cid and the Hideaway's primary antagonist. We're also obviously involved in politics, trying to bring down the Mother Crystals and whatnot. But Kupka is the one who's like ferociously focused on us, and the Men of the Rock are his personal guard. So more things to read about the Republic, and then some battles that happened: the Kingdom of Wallowed, the Iron Kingdom, other things about the lay of the land, politics, bandits, the Strait of Altha, the Gregorian Church and the Crystalline Orthodox. There's a lot more to get through here before we complete reading the lay of the land, but after that, I think we'll move on to Mysteries of the Realm, and then persons of interest, and then the bestiary. But that's going to be it for lore today. We'll come back again in the future and read more. For now, let's go meet with Gav and find out what he has to report about movements in the Dalmatian Republic.
ゴールたち帰りが
よークライブしけた面してんな
報告を
相変わらず愛想ってもんがない
そんなもんクライブに求めるのが悪いんだいいからお前も座れ
ドレイクヘッドが消滅した直後ザンブレフ公国はクリスタル自治領に攻め入ったあそこにはマザークリスタルがあるその上未だ黒の一帯に蝕まれていない
長らく続いた自治領の不可侵条約も破られる時はあっという間ね
ああこんな旨味のある場所一度手に入れたら手放すバカはいるはずもないだろうそんな強硬姿勢を崩さないザンブレクに対しついに名乗りを上げちまったのがダルメキア共和国ってわけだ今や両軍とも自治領を舞台にして激しい睨み合いの真っ最中さ
つまり各国の目が自治領に集まっている
警備の穴が出始めたようだどこもいつ踏み込むかと浮き足立っているせいだろう動くなら今だマザークリスタルを破壊する世界に残るマザークリスタルは鉄王国のドレイクブレスダルメキアのドレイクファングウォールードのドレイクスパインそしてクリスタル自治領のドレイクテイル
ダルメキア軍の大半はザンブレクの件で自治領に出向いてるとなると狙うはドレイクファングか
いやダルメキアは戦を仕掛けた側だ当然背後を取られないように守りを固めるだろうだが今なら今日ついて狙える場所がある
ドレイクブレス
おいおい鉄王国は海の向こうだぞどうやって渡るつもりだ
ポートイゾルデに住む知人を頼ってみろ
知人だ
王子だよバイロン・ロズフィールド
ロザリア7家族のあのバイロン・ロズフィールド大陸を股にかけるとんでもない大豪商だろ待ってそうだよお前一応ロズフィールドの坊ちゃまだったな
叔父はれっきとした貴族だがその傍ら貿易を営んだら商船なら都合がつくかもしれない
いけそうじゃねえかよっしゃ一丁やってやろうぜな
So we're attacking across the sea, the Iron Kingdom. Going after the Drake's Breath Mothercrystal. Otto's counter is now open, okay. New facilities. The following hideaway facilities are now available. Alliant Reports, the Patron's Whisper, and the Hunt Board. All three are located near Otto in the mess. All right, well, we have our grand scheme.
支度をしたらポートイゾルデに向かおう
We know what we're gonna do, but we probably want to take care of as many side quests and things as possible before we run into another situation where they're all blocked off and unavailable to us anymore. So, let's take a look here. We're also going to want to take a couple episodes so that we can head back to the Thousand Tomes and read up on the Iron Kingdom before we go there. So we've got a reading table and the wall of memories in our chamber. Let's start there.
大きいね
Oh, everybody's
楽しいね
everybody's gathered around Torgal, the kids. You can pet him, he's friendly. I even have a trophy that says you can pet the dog. Alright, so if we look at the wall of memories, we should have a new entry there. Ambrosia's Tack. A saddle and blinders crafted specifically for Clive's childhood chocobo, Ambrosia. Even after being separated from her master, the noble steed served the people of Rosaria in his stead, protecting the defenseless from the merciless, just as a good shield should. Very sweet. And then we have a new report here at our table. 2 new reports. Oh no, we've already read the Republic's play. Let's read A Bird by Any Other Name. This is from Jill. Okay. Forgive my insistence on writing you these silly letters. Would that we had more time to speak to each other in person, but for every day we spend together, it feels as though we must suffer another 2 apart. I'm gladdened to hear of your most unexpected reunion with Ambrosia, or should I say Whiteheart? You told me once how your chocobo sacrificed herself to protect you that night at Phoenix Gate. And here, so many years later, we find that she has spent her life doing that exact same thing, defending others. Some things never change, do they, Clive? Jill. That's a sweet little note. Okay, so now let's head over to the hunt board and the Alliant reports and all that good stuff and figure out what it is we need to take care of before we return to our main quest here.
いい加減
I believe it's
その
up
方向
here.
変える
Yeah,
マーサさん
okay.
は無事だったんですね。
どうも外は大変みたいだ。
So Gout should have Alliant reports for
調
us.
子はどうだい？
Let's ask about him.
俺かい？
Ah, same old, innit? Otto's got me reading through the reports coming in from our allies, picking up what problems are he dealing with now, and what could be saved for later. Still early days back in the old place, so I can just about handle the job myself. State of the world now, though, I need Dee's help to sift through it all. And that's just the sifting. Actually solving any of these problems is a whole other headache. Curse break is take the urgent stuff, but we're still stuck waiting for volunteers to handle the rest.
頼んだぜ。
So, if you ever find yourself at loose end, well, you know where to find me. He said in it, and I just had to do the accent. Let's ask him about the past 5 years.
懐かしいな。
So much has happened since that night. Feels like a lifetime ago. But we'll never forget those who didn't make it. Kenneth, Martell, they're still with us in our hearts. And Sid, when I found out he was gone, thought that was it for us. But he's still with us too, with you and in you. He took his name and gave us hope when we had none.
よろしくな。
So I suppose what I'm trying to say is, don't be a stranger, eh? Hideaway ain't nothing without its Sid. Alright, let's view the Alliant reports. Let's see what's available to
見てっ
us.
てくれ。
No available quests in the Holy Empire. Nothing in Rosaria either. Alright, fair enough for now. We'll check in with Desiree.
あら、クライブ。支援品窓口へようこそ。
レシレか。確かここでは支援者から届いた品を取りまとめているんだったな。
ええ、各地の問題の解決にリスキーモブの討伐。そうしたあなたの活動に送る感謝の印だそうです。あなたが多くの人を助けるほどに多くの信頼が寄せられます。どうぞ誇りに思ってくださいね。
Alright, let's ask about her.
私の仕事ですか。
Business is busy. On top of my regular duties here at the Whisper, Otto has piled countless other tasks, from transcribing and sorting Stolas reports to penning needful missives. Not that I'm complaining, mind, I enjoy writing. I have ever since I learned my letters from Jara back in the old hideaway. I won't claim to have been his best student, though. That honor goes to Shirley.
頑張ります。
Still, I like to think Jara would be proud of me, too. Were he with us today? Let's ask about the past 5 years.
5年前。
Words are immortal. They live on in others. And if the words are your own, so too will you. You know who told me that? It was Jara, in our last lesson before Titan came. It stayed with me ever since his passing and inspired me to become what I am today. I imagine we survivors all have a story like that, of someone who remains with us even though they're gone.
こちらが各地から届いた品です。
Okay, the Patron's Whispers. Completing side quests will earn Clive renown, inspiring nameless benefactors from across the Twins to donate money or items to Clive's cause. Visit Desiree at the Patron's Whisper in the Hideaway's Mess to view current renown level and accept any donations available. Okay, so talk of the Tea House at 15 renown. A heart-struck dowager writes, "Your merry band of outlaws and its dashing deeds of derring do are all the talk amongst the ladies of the court. We've gathered several items of worth that you might continue your gallantry." And it looks like we get some ability points. I don't know how they're donating that, but that's fine. We get those. Some Valley Matter, Bloody Hide, and Steel Silk. Let's take all that. Okay. Then we've got Respect from the Blood Axes. These are the mercenaries at Martha's Rest. "Our order is one built on pride, but that does not mean we're too proud to give thanks where thanks is due. We may have failed Martha once, but never again. They sent us a meteorite." Okay. So, next up, we can check in with our little Mugo friend Nectar about the hunt board.
Clive, there you are, Kupo. I've been looking all over for you.
なんだ、ネクタール。
The matter is this, Kupo.
リスキーモブ掲示板か。各地に現れた凶暴な魔物、リスキーモブの目撃談が張り出されている。どいつもこいつも石の剣の連中には手に負えない強さだと聞いた。
Of course not, Kupo. I already knew that. And that's why I need your help. As I need not remind you, Kupo, I'm the mightiest of all the Moogles. No fiend of the forest or ghoul of the greensward can measure up to Nectar the Bold. So I need you to slay them all, Kupo.
Man, it moves his text so friggin' fast.
ともかく人の暮らしを脅かすのは戦や黒の一体ばかりじゃない。リスキーモブを倒すことでも人が人として生きる場所を作ることにつながるか。わかった。力になろう。
Oh, thank you, Kupo. It's so good to have found someone who understands me, Kupo.
I'll stay here then and keep an eye on all the billets that get posted on the board, so if there's anything you need to know, Kupo, I'm your Moogle. Jesus, it goes so fast. Alright, let's go through some of this stuff. Let's ask about the hunts. Did you see that the Curse Breakers give every billet a rank of riskiness, Kupo? From this thing could kill you with a single swipe to a 7-nation army couldn't scratch this thing's skin. But I'm sure you'll be fine, Kupo. Well, not sure, but that's one risk I'm willing to take. It's precisely what you see before you, Kupo. The Curse Breakers note down the details of any particularly dangerous monsters they hear about or encounter in the course of their duties, Kupo. And post the billets here, Kupo, so that any stout soul who wishes to do the realm a service might set out to slaughter an ungodly horror or two, which is where you come in, Kupo. As for me, I have the most important duty of all, painting a big red cross over each and every one you cut down, Kupo, so that everyone can sleep at night knowing that the realm is a safer place. Didn't we just ask about this? Oh, hold on. I need to re-ask about that.
Curse Breakers don't just tack up any old rumors to this board, you know. They take great pains to verify every little detail. So don't you go letting all their hard work go to waste, Kupo. Don't let them down.
I gotta go through this again. Yeah, we read this one. Okay, I guess that's it. And then let's ask about Nectar's adventures.
Did I ever tell you about the time I visited the Great Continent, Kupo?
外大陸のこと？いや、聞いてないと思うが。
Of course I didn't, because I've never been, Kupo. Look at these wings. Do they look like the sort that might carry a Moogle across countless leagues of open sea? They call me Nectar the Bold, not Nectar the Stupid, Kupo.
All right. I guess that's enough of Nectar. Let's view the hunt board here. Reports of fiends terrorizing the countryside are posted to the hunt board in hopes that fearless heroes such as Clive will take it upon themselves to hunt down and slay the notorious marks. Alright, so we already killed the Ahriman. Yeah, that was a rank C monster. We've also got the Angel of Death. A traitor coming by the way of Cair Nor Vent met with a troop of curse breakers traveling in the opposite direction and warned them of a wicked winged harpy on the road ahead, his eyes wild and flickering. Though the Cursebreakers saw nothing untoward on their own journey through their past, the sound of cackling laughter from the trees ensured that they kept up a brisk pace. Okay, so do we accept these? We don't accept these. We just kind of go and search for them. So this is in Clairview in Saint-Brec. We're looking for a harpy. All right. So why don't we head out and search for this harpy in Clairview in Saint-Brec? So it looks like there's limits to how far we can travel. What is this? Hawk's Cry Cliff, Southern Rosaria. We need to go to Clairview, though. So are we blocked from going to these places until we advance the main quest? I guess so. Okay. Hawk's Cry Cliff. This is the main quest. From these heathered highlands, one might catch a glimpse of Rosalith Castle and everything else in between. Nearby quests. All right, so we can't actually travel on these hunts just yet, but we'll have to keep that in mind once things open up. If we take a look at the local map, we do have a new entry in the State of the Realm from Vivian here. Let's check that out.
Yeah, kimi ka. Watashi ka.
One would think my role abundantly clear by now. I offer you and yours the guiding light of knowledge, that of matters military and political, both past and present, that it might illuminate your way ahead. For it is only by understanding what has come before that one might steer one's way towards a brighter future.
Yokaro.
Your role, meanwhile, is to ensure that I remain furnished with as much information on the state of the realm as your people can muster, in order that I might continue to appraise the dispositions of the great nations and those who rule them. And of course, to pay attention during my lectures. It would not do to appoint the storied Ninetales as your tutor, only to disregard her expert advice. Let's ask about coming to the hideaway.
Mattaku.
I admit, when I took up my professor's bonnet and began teaching at the University of Conver, I did not think for a moment that I would one day count Sid the Outlaw among my pupils. But nor did I imagine that my fellow educators would have designs on my life. And we both know how that ended. Has it been a year already? Oh, such is the peril of an overly inquisitive mind, I suppose. One is wont to uncover that which others would go to great lengths to ensure remained hidden. Were not for you and our mutual friend having come to my rescue, my curiosity would likely have proved fatal. But instead, I was not only saved, but granted a new lease on life. As personal tutor to a band of outlaws. A far more reputable fellowship than anything in the academic world, I assure you. Let's ask about the Crystalline Dominion. My beloved homeland. Crossroads of Valisthea, where one only has to stroll the streets to hear news from every far-flung corner of the realm. Its Mothercrystal yields more shards than any other, and its lands even now remain untouched by the Blight. It's a blessed country indeed. Or at least it was until Saint-Brec elected to invade and established a new holy capital upon Twin Signs' heretofore neutral shores. It pains me to see the land I loved so changed, and even more to know that I did not predict it. I knew that Emperor Sylvester had designs on the Dominion, but to abandon Oriflame, the seat of the Holy Empire since its inception, seemed too audacious a move even for him. Yeah, but she wasn't expecting us to destroy the Drake's Head Mothercrystal either. All right, let's view the state of the realm. By speaking with Vivian in the Hideaway's map room, Clive can view the state of the realm and learn more about the current goings-on in Valisthea, revisit any of the Ninetales' past lessons, or take a deeper look at the relationships of those individuals in Clive's orbit. All right, so we've got two things here. So if we look at, we could go to past lessons, but we have the Grand Cast and the Situation Map. Let's start with the Grand Cast. Here you can view a detailed visualization of character relationships in Final Fantasy XVI that updates as you progress through the main scenario. Use L1 and R1 to cycle through pivotal milestones in Clive's adventure. Okay, this is a lot to take in. So Year of the Realm. So in 860, Rosaria marches. Obviously, there was the puppy, Jill Warwick, the Ward of Rosaria, Joshua Rossfield, the Dominant of the Phoenix, and then our parents, the Archduke and the Duchess. Plus there was Rodney Murdoch, the Lord Commander, and then Sir Wade and Sir Tyler. If we advance time to the Night of Flames, we can see, yeah, Joshua was believed dead, as was our father Elwyn. Or no, he's actually deceased. Ambrosia was believed dead, and we had this new mysterious stranger. Okay. We can also look at the profiles of any of these people, and we get a little summation in the upper left there. Now, if we hit persons of interest, okay, we can cycle through. So then we travel forward to Death in the Defile. This is when we were hunting Shiva's dominant, turned out to be Jill. And then there was also, yeah, these two. Oh, this I did not know. Apparently, is that a... That's not a heart, that's a handshake. They're comrades. Okay. So we have the Dhalmekian chief strategist and the Republican prime minister. Then we had Titan's dominant and, right, the royal attaché who manipulates the Titan's dominant. That's interesting. I thought, and I mentioned when we first saw their interaction, that she seemed a little bit fake in her, like, hot and heavy relationship with Hugo. So we can see there's an arrow with a direction saying that she manipulates him, right? We also have the King of Wallowed, master and servant relationship with Benedicta. And then we have the breaks trust with arrow with the Republican Prime Minister. And we have the Lord Commander, their master and servant. We have, yeah, battle between Jill and Clive, but then saves her. Rebels against and attempts to dominate Tiamat. He was his master in the Bastards. Over here we have mother and son, the former Duchess. And then up in the Imperial Province, we've got these three as well. Wow, this is really, really fascinating. It helps keep track of the story. If we move forward to Cloaks and Daggers, we can see even more things going on. We move forward to Cairnor Vent, Garuda's Rage, the Battle of Belenus Tor, Salvation at Kingsfall, Duchy Despoiled, the End of Eastpool, onward to Oriflamme, the Drake Decapitated, and then Sid II, 5 years have passed. There's a whole host of characters here. And then now we're on to the March of the Black Shields at present day. All right, so that's the Grand Cast. That is a really helpful tool if you aren't keeping track of everybody who's involved. At present, I feel like I've got a pretty good handle on most of the characters. So we have all the characters here in the Hideaway. The Alliance, the Imperial Province, the Holy Empire, the Kingdom of Wallowed, and the Dhalmekian Republic. And then over here we have the mysterious being, Ultima. An otherworldly being that Clive encountered in the inner sanctum of Drake's head. He addressed Clive as Mythos before attempting to merge their consciousnesses. However, Clive was able to summon the will to resist the creature before Joshua returned from the dead to imprison it in a cage of flame that he sealed away in his own heart. Yeah, so all of this information is probably also available in tomes. All of these profiles would be in Persons of Interest. But this is another view, another way to navigate and investigate the Grand Cast. That is really fantastic. That's a great tool. And let's check out the situation map. Here you can view a detailed overview of current and past events relevant to Clive's story that updates as you progress through the main scenario. Again, you can use L1 and R1 to cycle through pivotal milestones in Clive's adventure. So as we zoom out, we can actually see the shape of the various nations and the actions taking place. Wow, this is actually incredible. I don't know how much time I'll spend here in the playthrough, but because I think mostly we're going to rely on tomes for a lot of this information, but some of this is fantastic. I mean, look at you can see the movements of various forces. You can see key battles, the Men of the Fist. You can look things up. This is really cool. Yeah, you can get. So this is something we would have seen again in tomes and Lay of the Land, but you can see each and every. Like, you can kind of, like, this is a different way to organize the information and view it with, like, spatial relationships of the countries as we progress through time and events. This is fantastic. Okay, really cool, really cool. What else do we have? We've got the Arid Stone and the Orchestrion. I think that's it, but there's a side quest available in the backyard. All right, so let's go take that on. We also haven't been able to get into the training pit down at the bottom of the lift, but I don't think that may or may not be available yet. So it looks like we're gonna pass up the boarding deck, up to the main deck, and then underneath past the Black Hammer to the rear stacks, and then veer right and go around to the backyard. And there's a quest waiting here for us, the fruits of her labors. It would be nice, I think, if the hideaway had a couple of obelisks to teleport around, so we didn't have to walk quite as much. But if wishes were horses, beggars would ride, right? So just make do. So we pass through the blacksmith and out to the back. Yeah, I think we go down this way. Yep, looks good. So what was this? I don't know what this room is. Hello? The Foundations of Valisthian Botany by Morbol Tendril. Oh, about Morbol Tendrils. After excising from the trunk, dry for 3 to 5 turns of the sun until brittle to the touch. Grind in mortar and add to warm pearl milk to remedy gout, melancholy, and moon sickness. Caution recommended when harvesting, as the host may grow disquieted. Yeah. Fighting Morballs is pretty tough. So this, I guess, is going to be a garden? I don't know, after 5 years, you'd think they'd have it up and running, but maybe this is something we build over time. And then experimental record by Bohemil, the head botanist. Mixed equal parts first-rate vineyard hummus from Gotland's bales with deadland soil. Of the 6 cuttings planted therein, 2 survived to flower, only to wither and die within a se'nnight. Even amalgamated with the finest imperial loam, the blighted earth is still affecting a nutritional deficiency. It might be remedied with some further source of nourishment, saltpeter or potash or the dung of a racing chocobo. This shall be the subject of my next round of experiments. Well, okay. Is this Bohemil over here? Or who is this? Let's see. It is. No, it's Cormac.
マーテルさん。ああ、シド。ご相談がありまして。
どうしたんだ？
シドはこの木の果実をご存知ですか？
確か前の隠れ家にもあったな。
はい。植生の研究をしていたマーテルさんが大事に育てていたものです。彼女の亡き後、僕が育成を引き継いで、ついに食べられるほどに大きく育ったんです。それに当時はとても酸っぱかったのを改良を重ねて甘くすることもできました。
すごいじゃないか。みんな喜びそうだ。
これを石の剣の皆さんに食べていただきたいのですが、なかなか声をかけられなくて、どうか僕の代わりにお渡ししてもらえませんか？
いいだろう。連中には俺から渡しておく。
助かります。石の剣には前の隠れ家から勤めている方が多くいます。ですからぜひとも食べていただきたかったのです。それではシド、こちらがマーテルさんの果実です。よろしくお願いします。よかったね、マーテルさん。やっと皆さんに食べてもらえるよ。
Alright, so Martel died when the men of the stone attacked the old hideaway. Maybe Bohemil died too, we don't know. We haven't seen him as far as I know. But let's go ahead and play delivery boy and hand off these apples to the hideaway's curse breakers. Where are they? Okay, we need to get back over here. Okay, they're up in Otto's quarter, near the Alliant reports and the hunt board.
一休みに甘いものでもいらないか。植物園で育てたマーテルの果実だそうだ。
A basket of Martel apples, grown and picked by Cormac for sample by hideaway residents. Apples are delicious.
マーテルだって、その名前どこかで。
ああ、植物園にいた人じゃない？
そうそう、植物園のマーテルさんだ。 あの人草木のことになると本当に熱心だったな。
前の隠れ家から一株だけ苗を持ち出せたって聞いたわ。よかった。また実がつくところまで育ったのね。
そうか、あの果実か。懐かしいものがもらえて嬉しいよ。シド、ありがとう。ぜひ他の連中にも渡してあげてくれ。間一髪だったようだがな、さっきの果実。
植物園からの差し入れだ。受け取ってくれ。
おや、懐かしいな。この果実って前の隠れ家で育ててたやつだろ。先代のシドはこいつがお気に入りだったな。まだ小さい実を勝手に取ってよくマーテルに怒られてたっけ。
シドがしそうなことだ。
なんだ、ずいぶんうまそうだな。そいつはマーテルの果実。植物園の連中、苗木からここまで大変だったろうに、マーテルの意志を継いでよく育ててくれたよ。こうやって収穫できて彼女も喜んでいることだろう。クライブ、後で俺のところにも届けるよう言っといてくれるか。
やれやれ、相変わらずだな、オットーさんは。シド、ありがとう。残りの果実は俺からみんなに渡しておくよ。植物園の人にもお礼を伝えておいてくれ。
これで渡し終えたな。植物園にも。
Okay, I guess we gotta run all the way back now.
いい加減そのほうきも変えときよ。
I do like the music for the kind of laid back, like relaxed, sunny summer day kind of music for the hideaway. It's a nice feel. And, you know, there's no earth-shattering, world-ending combat happening here. It's a very relaxed place, and that's the way it should be, right? That's the way life should be for the freed bearers. That's the life we're trying to put together for everyone. I might change my tune after 60 hours, but we'll see.
石の剣の連中に果実を渡してきた。喜んでくれていたよ。それにみんなマーテルのことを懐かしがっていた。
覚えていてくれたんですね。マーテルさんは人が苦手だった僕に優しく接してくれました。でも彼女はあの襲撃での怪我が原因で。以前彼女は言ってました。この木の果実をとびきり美味しくしたいって。だからこの木をマーテルと名付けて育てたんです。僕がマーテルさんの思いを形にするために。
お前は彼女の意志を継いでそれを成したんだ。自分を誇っていい。
シドからお褒めの言葉をいただくなんて。
そういえばオットーが届けてくれと言っていたぞ。あと俺の部屋にも頼む。
わかりました。カゴにいっぱいお届けします。よかったね、マーテルさん。もっともっと美味しくしてあげますからね。
Quest complete. All right, fruits of her labors. 600 gil, 10 renown, 250 experience, and 1 martel apples. A basket of slightly stunted, somewhat sweet apples grown from the blighted earth thanks to the dedication and perseverance of one woman. Martel, may she rest in peace. Quote, still, we'll grow something worth eating one of these days, and when we do, you'll have your first pick. Displayed in Clive's chambers. All right. Well, with that taken care of, I think we finished our quotas for the day of exploration here and study We read up a lot in the tomes there, and we got a little bit of a briefing from what was her name? Vivian in the map room. We kind of checked out the hunt board, although we can't do anything with it yet, and checked in with the Alliant reports and the Patron's Whispers. And we did our side quest. So it looks like that's about all we can do at the moment. The next thing to do would be to travel to Hawk's Cry Cliff. But I think that is going to have to wait for next episode because I'm going to call it a break here. That's 45 minutes, so that's about as long as I like to let these run. I'd like to thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this and got well briefed on the lay of the land and the state of the hideaway. When we return next time, we'll proceed with the main quest. We'll travel to Hawk's Cry Cliff, try and meet up with Clive's uncle, and find out about crossing the sea to the Iron Kingdom, where we will assault the Drake's Breath Mothercrystal in a daring move that no one hopefully sees coming, and try to hold back the Blight and save the world. So until then, thanks again for watching, and we'll see you in the next video. Take care.